Hi, welcome back to Shohei Ohtani, the amazing story of baseball's two-way Japanese superstar by Jay Paris. Chapter 2 is titled Ohtani's Youth Was Filled with Baseball. A youthful Shohei Ohtani left-handed swing was far from all wet. Still, the balls that sprung from his bat often splashed down in the river, and that made his coach have a meltdown. One can imagine a frustrated adult volunteer pleading with the precious youngster to take the ball the opposite way. The team had a limited supply of baseballs, with many not being dry after the sweet swinging Ohtani, who started playing baseball in second grade, took batting practice. Maybe it was around that legend and myth, impossible and the impossible, unlikely and unbelievable, all started this Japanese baseball star who had impressed and thrilled fans on both sides of the Pacific Ocean. Ohtani was born July 5th, 1994. Oh, exactly 6 months younger than me, if anyone cares. Probably not. Okay, I'll go back. In a rural area some 250 miles north of Tokyo. Far from the bright lights that international city, Ohtani was raised in Oshu, a local known to be cold in the winter and warm to talking cattle any time of the year. With the greatness of Ohtani may someday motivate his hometown to create a museum in honor. Please know it will be the second one in town to its original, the Cattle Museum. Ohtani's parents both participated in sports, supplying their son with some solid athletic genes. His father, Toru, played baseball at the semi-professional level before a shoulder injury ended his career, and he went to work full-time at Mitsubishi. Ohtani's mother, Ryuta, was a national badminton team member. By the time Ohtani enrolled at Hanamaki Higashi High School in the Iwate Prefecture, two things were clear. He had a passion for his history in baseball, especially baseball. Ohtani planned to be a star, but first he needed a plan. When a baseball coach suggested to Ohtani and his freshman teammates to write down their goals and how to achieve them, they recorded their assumed path to reach their dreams. Ohtani, who threw right-handed and batted left-handed, had a quest to be selected in the first round by a Nippon professional baseball team. In Japan, multiple organizations can draft a player. Then a lottery is held to determine which one would gain his services. Just a quick side note of commentary. I wonder, it's an interesting way to do it. I mean, I like how our system has it more, but that's interesting. I did not know that. By getting 8 teams to show interest, Ohtani would also better flamethrowing southpaw Yushi Kikuchi, who we now know in the MLB. He went to the Mariners, and then I'm trying to remember where he's at now, but I know he's on the Mariners. Anyways, who also attended Hanamaki Higashi before going on to play MPB. But to cross off that wish, Ohtani had to work diligently with what was filled the other 80 boxes on his grid of goals that would lead to his success. Among the traits Ohtani waited to focus were on mental toughness, physical fitness, nutrition, and building enough strength and accuracy in his right arm to develop a 100-mile-per-hour fastball. It was evident Ohtani's talents and determination were a match made in baseball heaven. There was a little he couldn't do as he made news while climbing the baseball ladder. As a sophomore, Ohtani tied future Japanese star and New York Yankees then pitcher Tanaka mark by throwing a fastball 150 kph, which is 93.2 miles per hour. And then as a senior, Ohtani did something no other Japanese prep pitcher had accomplished. The radar gun spun to 160 kph, which is 99.4 miles per hour, on one of his offerings. Ohtani kept checking off items, but it was doubtful he would reach his number one goal of being picked by 8 MPB teams. That was only because the multi-talented teenager who had made the transition from outfielder to pitcher as a freshman threw NPB a curveball. 2 days before the team selected their players, Ohtani informed the organizations that he was bypassing NPB and going straight to the major leagues. It was evident Ohtani's talents and determination were a match made in baseball heaven. And that will conclude Chapter 2, so a little bit of a shorter chapter here. Well, I'd like to know some of your thoughts on this. I think it's really interesting. I didn't know a whole lot, actually, about Ohtani's pre-MLB days. I know where he ends up going to play professional ball, which I think was briefly talked about in Chapter 1. But also, it's just very interesting and learning more about Ohtani's childhood. Don't know a whole lot about his parents either, so I thought that was cool, a little insight on them. And as always, I thank you for listening and hope you enjoy. And as always, like and subscribe for more content.